Hello and welcome back to Chaotic Neutral Games. We're playing Numenera. It's Numenera time. We've
What are we doing?
we had like one. Did we have 1 or 2 weeks off? I can't remember.
Two.
It's been
Two.
it's
Yeah,
been
two.
a whole time. It's been a thing. Lots of stuff has happened, and it's all too busy. But I've got a
any
few.
dice. They're in my car. I'll be right back. It was such a good start. Ed, do the recap. Normally they sit up here, but it's because I played actual D&D in person, and so
We've got titles for 1:30.
yeah,
So we're going to do some titles in 3, 2. And we're all back. All of us. Every single one of us. With all of the stuff we need to play. Right? Right?
Yeah, probably.
yes.
Yes. It's Numenera. It is the people with... I can't remember how to start this. I should probably start by doing a recap of like the whole last arc. Because last time we played, we finished quite a significant little chunk of story, which I had originally written to be 1 session long. And then I involved like the next arc that I had involved. And yeah, so it was originally going to be 2 sessions, and you did it for like 5, 10, somewhere around that. It's been a while. But you found the Osran Woods, these purple trees, beautiful fruits, which were all absolutely identical in every single way, down to like the knots in the wood. Someone ran out of the forest and told you, don't pick all the stuff off the trees, and obviously you still did. Don't get the juice on you, and people did get their juice on them. And it wasn't good, because it turns out these trees, you later learnt, were being replicated by a swarm of nanomachines that had been told to presumably terraform a planet, but somewhere along the way had decided that the only thing it needed to make was these trees. So Matilda,
Were they objectively pretty trees? Other than the fact they were like evil.
They were pretty trees, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
It's a
well.
beautiful forest.
Like a nice purple.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kind of more towards like red and pink than blue. Yeah.
Like a nice
Well,
mauve.
that's people and creatures. I mean, there's nothing sinister about that at all.
Not at all. Not at all. But some of the people who got some of the fruit on them, some of them managed to get out of the forest in time, but Matilda, unfortunately, I seem to remember a lot of natural ones that game. Matilda got, I guess. The nanomachine started changing her to become one of the trees. Luckily, you've got a kid who can kind of suppress Numenera nonsense, and you had him, Merrin, lay on hands and just pause, buy you time. You also had a way of translating Merrin's power over distance, which you had made on previous adventures. Yes, Yes, she did. She got dysentery. You loaded her onto a cart and said, "Get her away from the forest." And she did. You all tried to find a way to stop this, some great power source that could overload the nanomachines or something like that, and found yourself, after a little bit of digging and a little bit of poking things you probably shouldn't have poked, in the data sphere. There was various adventures, like trying to communicate in and out of the data sphere, figuring out how time works. But eventually, all of you made it. And, thank you for the raid. Good to see you. You are just at the recap, so good timing. Yes, in the data sphere, this kind of internet-esque place, virtual reality, you were presenting as whatever you thought. So I think Letty was a whirl of hands with a stone face. Mazir was Mazir, but better. We had Trenton, who was like cogs and gears constantly moving, and we had Clegy, who was in contrast to the metallic form he has out in the real world, was kid, maybe like 14, 15, that kind of age. Yeah. So yes, you were in the data sphere. There was a little bit of trouble where some of the nanomachines got in the data sphere and started messing with some of the data, but that was cleared up. You also managed to connect the Neverjin, this kind of djinn-like creature that does deals for knowledge, for information. One of the deals you'd made were to connect him back to the data sphere, and you did. And you made further deals for how to move around the data sphere, how to use this bit. And in return, he asked for you to intercede with the thing that lived in the green. This intrusion onto this solid concrete area. A very organic intrusion where you went exploring and found that gravity doesn't make sense, but it's all virtual reality. None of it needs to make sense. And it's Numenera. None of it needs to make sense. So you walked up this stalk and found yourself looking out over the plains, over the beyond, stretching in every direction. You were incredibly, like, miles high up. And that's where you met the giant. The giant at the top of the beanstalk. The giant at the top of the beanstalk that the original Jack stole talent, pure talent from. For those of you who don't know Numenera, a Jack has a flex skill which they're allowed to change every day, and this is what Jack stole. And our resident Jack, Clegy, was held responsible partially by the giant, and so deals were struck. The giant, this great hoarder of knowledge, was convinced that it could hoard more knowledge. If it only gave up some of its knowledge, it could get more back. It's an investment. And it took a little bit of convincing. And a little bit of kind of teasing about one of the giant's compatriots, Keprin of the Axtaran, who is one of Mazir's, it is Mazir's god, another god of the data sphere, also about hoarding knowledge, but about sharing the hoarded knowledge. Where do we go from there? After that, you saw outside the beanstalk your friends. They'd ridden, they drove, they'd moved the caravan towards this beanstalk, and the giant chucked you out the bottom, a couple of you, and you figured out that you were about a week south of where you started, which didn't make sense with time, but as we said before, time in the data sphere flows strangely. Computation cycles take different times in different bits of the data sphere. Moves very slowly in the beanstalk, but very quickly in that little bit you were in before. Letty returned with Clegy to the original entry into the data sphere, and everyone met back up at the forest with the data that you needed, the things you needed to fix this forest. A bit of nano machine work later, and with the help of a biologist, a Saracenian who dedicated her life to studying plants, you released this smaller swarm which started to overtake the trees, and as it did, all of the fruit thump 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 came thumping to the ground as the trees rejected the nanomachine factories they had. Matilda felt no more compulsion to sit in the forest and become a tree, although her leg still gnarled wood, transformed, and it would be probably dangerous and difficult to change it back. So she's learning how to live with that. Balance is a bit different. She can walk a little further, honestly. Her feet don't hurt. Well, one of her feet doesn't hurt anymore.
And she's got a cool story to tell.
And she has a cool story to tell. That doesn't, however, mean she is necessarily happy with you all still. Because it came out that Letty was a thief and a prisoner a little while ago, actually weeks ago by now. And
Still not over that.
I mean, what's happened in between to make her feel good about it?
Saved her life, made her a load of money, saved her kid's life by firing him out of the forest.
How do we make a load of money? Oh, we got all the juice from the thing, didn't we?
Yeah. And I did a lot of that work with my psychic powers.
Yeah.
With my gravity powers. And yeah, I've done loads for her. I don't see
But
why
also
she should
made
be
some
all head up about
decisions.
this.
Some perhaps
Great.
less
This is great. Is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. I can
less
also tell.
than prudent decisions that put people in danger in things
I
like
don't
that.
remember those.
I don't remember those either. Strange that.
But over the last week or two of travel, onto your next destination, the frostiness has thawed somewhat. She is talking to you more, and she is beginning to understand, and she's not still 100% happy, but the contract you signed is not necessarily void. She will do her part if you do your part. She will not forbid you from joining in on anything that's going on, but she's not necessarily going to be all chummy. But the last week has been plains, mostly, kind of scrublands, occasionally patches of grass where the Calyptor, these Triceratops-like biomechanical creatures, graze. And over the last week, you've seen on the horizon another forest, not purple this time.
Hey.
As you get closer, though, you hear the wind blowing down from the Black Riage, the mountain range behind it. This particular forest, you learn from people around, is called the Slant Milieu. So called because all the trees grow at 45-degree angles, steeper angles. They're blown by the wind coming off the mountain, so much so that they grow in curves. Naturally curved wood is incredibly good for building boats. And so therefore, naturally curved wood is worth a lot of money. And this is why Matilda has directed you towards this area.
Margaret's so clever.
Margaret. That's a completely new one.
I can't remember what I used to call her.
Meredith.
Meredith, that was it.
Meredith.
Maria.
But yeah.
Sorry, yes.
She explains to you as the wind is starting to like pick up and hit the caravans. She's right. Well, you don't need to worry about cutting down any trees. We've got all that sorted. I believe we've been told that there may be another money-making opportunity that you will all be very useful for. But luckily, we don't need to be staying out in this bloody wind. We've got friends who can accommodate us. She looks to the distance and points to what just looks like a hole in the ground. Down that one.
Sorry, it looks for a second like you were pointing to that hole in the ground. It must be. Is the house past there?
It would have to be a bloody strong house to stand up in this. Have you seen the bloody trees?
Hole in the ground. Okay.
Hole in the ground. It's a partially submerged domicile, is what they've been calling it. It's quite a nice cave, honestly. It's not bad. I mean, last time we saw there was carpets and everything.
Ooh.
Oh,
I've not seen one of those in a while.
Sold.
There's not much in the way of natural light, but you know,
Well,
Make a lot of money
we
doing
can
it.
bring our own sunshine.
aye, that we can. Ooh, that might be worth a couple
Mazia
of
looked
secrets.
Mazia looked really enjoying of the fact, hole in the ground. That sounds like a fun place to be. Until you mentioned lack of natural light, and she was like, that sucks.
The rest of the day is a lot slower than the morning has been, as the wind gets stronger and stronger as you get towards this. You're almost like leaning forward, hunching into the wind. The Calyptor pulling themselves forward by their stocky legs. But it seems like they're very well suited for this. Until eventually you find yourself delving into this shallow hole in the ground. Against the direction of the wind, this cave. And indeed, once you park up the carts and stuff, the wind outside recedes into the background, and the sounds of a fire crackling in the grate and conversation beyond beckons you into the home. And indeed, it is very cosy, brightly coloured. Well lit by fire and also Numenera lights giving off this daylight-like glow. Not quite as bright, but the right colours, so it doesn't feel quite as dark and dank. You're far enough down that there is vaulted ceilings, so you've got space. It's as little like a hole in the ground as a hole in the ground can get. It is.
How do you get into the hole in the ground? Is there like a ramp down? Or
Yes, so there's the hole on the outside, which is a very shallow ramp in.
Okay.
You travelled for a while underground before parking your caravans up in almost like a caravan park, like a parking lot kind of thing. No other caravans around, but markings where you see them coming in and out. And Matilda goes ahead and meets with a very, very old man, stooped back, wispy hair, kind of left long around this portion, and wide, milky eyes, rocking in a chair in front of the fire, blanket over his knees. And she goes, and you can tell there is serious business happening, as you are all whisked away to a table, a long table with all sorts of food The woman who whisks you away introduces herself. I'm Vilda. That is my grandfather, pointing at the wizened old man. He does all the business around here. Please come eat and enjoy our hospitality. You do you know how long you're staying?
Not a clue.
No, but we've been traveling for weeks now.
It sounds
It's
like
really
you
nice
need
to be inside.
a comfortable seat and good food.
Yes.
We've
Vizier
been
will
doing what
avoid
we've been
anything
told for.
purple.
Clegy wants to observe Philo's reaction to the food.
Philo, you can tell, isn't too impressed. And when he notices you going like this, he leans over and says, "They are very good ingredients. They just have not done too much with them. It's like impressive that they can have this stuff here under the ground, but I would be able to do something better with them."
Philo is so sassy.
Maybe there's
Sassy
an
penguin.
opportunity for you to teach some of your wonderful recipes that are going to be in your book.
Well, we can always. It is our way to make money. Yeah, a way to trade. Matilda would be very happy with that.
Indeed.
Savvy. He's learning.
Yeah, he starts like playing with his food on the plate, like stacking it in different ways and figuring out like what's going with what, and because he doesn't recognize all of it. It's actually such a wide spread that you've like not seen this diverse a spread anywhere.
Is it
honestly.
like fruit and veg and meat and cheese type things, or?
Yeah, fruit, veg, meat, cheese. There are sweets. There are prepared stuff. There's, stuff that travels well, stuff that doesn't travel well. It's all things basically. If you could imagine it, it's
Meat,
probably
fruit,
somewhere on the
there's
table.
cheese, vegetables. there's-
Vilda, this is a marvelous spread. What the hell is Clegy sounding like at the moment? Sorry. But where on earth do you get all this food in this area? Like, how do you keep all this food?
Well, we have a lot of visitors. They like the contents of the forest, and they are worth quite a lot to them. I personally do not understand it. What's the point of a branch that is not straight? Why would you even bother? But they pay very well for them, and Grandpa Gunnar is very, very good at making deals. Food is usually, the sweetener on top, but a few years back we got this beautiful artifact that allowed us to keep food. So now we get rather a lot of food now. It is a good trade.
Do we still have the thing that we stole that keeps food fresh?
I think
We
so. I
do.
don't think we've
We do,
used
don't
it
we?
for anything. Yeah.
We've just had it on the cards.
Yep.
We haven't used it at all.
Okay, just checking. I'm not going to do anything with that right now.
Well, marvelous, just marvelous. Don't mind me. And Clegy just starts tucking in.
I'm eating. Trenton's eating only the meat. So only that's all he's eating. None of the veg or anything like that. Just meat. Getting the protein.
Did you run out of
Everything
pet
else.
jerky?
Yeah, how much
Yeah,
canine
exactly.
jerky is there left?
Anything that's salty and tough and just the basic food. All the meat.
Letty, would you take 2 experience points, please?
Already?
Oh.
Give one to somebody else. Already.
Okay.
Don't worry about
I'm gonna give
it.
one to Trenton for eating like a good boy.
Meat. He eats meat.
as the rest of you see Letty's eyes glaze over in that black sparkly night. And Letty, you don't actually notice anything. It happens to you, but just everyone else notices.
I imagine Mizzy is probably sitting next to Trenton. Probably like, I imagine we sort of sitting like 2 and 2 sort of opposite each other. And Mizzy is just gonna like kick Trenton under the table and be like, and like nod at Letty. And should we do something? We should.
What are you
Right,
two
pass.
planning over there?
Me.
Food is really good.
Great. It's great. And as I said, I'm going to look at Letty. Is it still there? Because it's normally just a flash and it's gone.
Letty, a memory comes kind of unbidden, kind of an intrusive thought about the Nevergin. Just the Nevergin as it was sat in its cave, the first time you ever saw the Nevergin. And then, as soon as it's there, it's gone, and the eyes flash back to normal.
How does Letty react?
I think she sort of blinks and shakes her head, like, you know, when you like, you've sort of been daydreaming and then you sort of like remember where you are. Suddenly, she just has a moment of, good food, yeah.
Should we ask her?
Did you have something sour? I mean, you just flinched a little. That's all.
I just saw a note.
that
It's
food?
fine.
Letty, you know that thing that happens to your eyes? They're trying to. We should just tell you. You need to know it's back, or it was back, and you glazed and.
Oh.
And then
was-
Mazia quickly looks around to like check that no one else has like heard, because she did then realize, she's like, oh, possibly other people.
Yeah,
shouldn't know
there are
about
people
this.
kind of milling about into the room, like it's a super long table. People joining, eating meals, and then leaving. It just seems like this spread is always out there, and you've got like the rest of your troop, kind of same area as you. But yeah, you keep it low enough that no one else hears if you need.
Really, Mazia?
Oh yeah, it definitely didn't start like, it was normal speaking tone, and then
Yeah.
she was like, oh yeah, but actually yeah, it's back.
That's shit.
Did you feel okay?
I just had a memory of the Nevergin, and then I came back. But I don't know why that would be.
When exactly did it start again? Was it when we were with the Nevergin?
It's when we crossed the bridge.
No, it was-
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were, everyone was getting whispers. I wanted to whisper. The whispers were sort of arriving in people's brains. I was like, I want that. Getting over the bridge on the far side, and I don't know. Since then, something's been different, and you guys have said that something's been different. So I trust you when you come to that.
We are good at dealing with different.
Mm.
But it's gone now, so no harm done, right?
And you feel okay?
I'm sure it's fine. I feel
Yeah.
fine in myself. I'm sure it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Wait, I've spoken. Maybe it's.
I mean, sure. It must be something to do with the.
Well, the Nevergin did tell me that it was possible that this thing. It made a deal with the Nevergin on its own account. And we wanted a vessel for it. You know, we haven't worked that out yet.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah.
But it's, as long as it's not causing you any pain,
Oh,
any
it's fine.
damage.
I'm
Okay.
sure it's
Well,
fine.
do you want us to let you know if we see it again, or do you? Because I think it's just
thought-
part of you. Just let it come and go.
I thought the last time that you hadn't told me for literally weeks that was the last time you weren't going to tell me. Is the thing.
I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to tell you. I'm not going to. I'm not going to
Tell
tell
me.
you unless you want me to tell you.
I want you
then
to
I'll
tell
say it.
me.
You do want me to?
I do.
I want to know if there was something in my eye.
Me too.
There's something in your eye.
Oh, really?
No, it's just a hair. It's fine.
But the problem is not just your eyes sort of go, but you sort of seemed a bit far away with it.
It's well.
I
I'm
think
hungry.
until we get this sorted, I think you shouldn't operate any heavy machinery. That's all I have to say.
Well, I'm not much inclined to do anything particularly difficult at the moment. I'm still getting my strength back, so yeah, I'm happy for
Well,
everybody else to take
that's
the
okay.
hard jobs.
Maybe we should stick that tracker in you.
No,
Yes.
no.
What if it
Oh.
mind controls you and you wander off?
Then we'll deal with it. I'm not having Kleiji stick the tracker in my butt cheek.
It could be the upper arm.
No, no.
I'm
Oh.
not
I'll
having
do
it.
that.
I'm
Why-
not
wait,
having
wait,
a tracker. Full stop.
Why
that an
can't
option?
it be the upper arm? Why does it have to be in? Cleety, why can't?
Was the upper arm an option? Not that I want to be tracked at all times, but
No, because the butt's the bigger muscle. Like the arm wasn't a big enough muscle. You need a lot of like muscle.
Are you
and...
saying I've got a big, large bottom?
No, I'm just
You're in
saying
trouble now, Kleiji.
the bottom is one of the biggest muscles in the body. I mean, yeah, so, you know, it's the best place to put it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. You know where when we were facing the gazers and we likely modified something with the tracker, may not have actually fixed it since, I realise.
oh,
Because I don't see any of you at the moment.
that's good.
Okay, well then why were you trying? Why were you
Results.
going to offer to put it in Cleege's Letty's bum? It's not going to work anyway. Like,
Well, maybe we can fix it. We just took one of the parts out. That's all, if you remember. And
yeah, I'll have a look at it.
anyway, I do worry about Letty. You know, I worry that Letty will float off somewhere and we'll never see her again.
You worry about me, I'll worry about you with your butt fixation.
Not a fixation. It's more just, you know, keeping
Interest.
the team together. I mean, I don't. We've been through so much now. I don't. Fine. I mean, I'm not going to push it, obviously. What were we talking about before the butt thing? Oh, your eyes. Yes. No, you seem very distant. Like, yeah, maybe we should try and tell you just to see if we can, like, rouse you out of it.
Yeah, that'd be. Maybe we can look it up somewhere when we get somewhere that has. Do you reckon they have books here about anything?
I
It
don't
feels stupid to say that after we've just left the greatest database of knowledge in sentient history, but
I mean, I didn't really see anything of note in the datasphere. I mean, other than the tree and the
Yeah.
giant and, you know, that. But, like, did you not see anything in Letty when she was in the datasphere?
So those of you who were looking at Letty, there was something which was like hiding behind her at all times, from all angles. Like even if like you were opposite sides of Letty, both of you would think something is behind Letty.
Yeah, but there were other problems to deal with, and I
we were
I
fighting
forgot.
a tree.
Well, the good thing is with, you know, Mazia's little puck, we might find another bit of the datasphere soon, and then maybe we can work it out there if we don't work it out before. But
It'll be fine.
Hilda,
Yeah, she looks up from chatting to Nimchek. Actually, seemed like they were having like an animated conversation, and she looks up and yes,
absolutely wonderful food.
I'm glad you are enjoying.
I sort of look slightly askance at Philo as I say that, and like, you know, make a sort of not quite a wink, but a knowing look.
Yes.
Do you have a library or books or anything around here, or?
We do. We have. I will have to ask my mother if you can have a look, but yes, absolutely.
Oh, if you would, that would be marvelous. We do have some research we'd like to do.
Of course. She stands up and hand on the shoulder, and Nimchek makes an apology and leaves to go and chat. It's at this point you hear Matilda clunking towards you, the wooden foot making a solid sound on these packed dirt floors, and she puts in between the four of you, dunk, a beetle about this large.
Ooh.
Brown, kind of almost bark-like exterior, but you can tell natural camouflage, not any actual wooden nonsense. And she says, "I've got a job for you."
I've already eaten, thank you.
Oh, I'm still hungry.
Well, you gotta cook them, but that's beside the point, because that's not why they're expensive. This is why they're expensive. And she lifts one of the wings, and you can see the very delicate wings underneath are glittering gold.
Ooh.
Oh, it's
Now-
pretty. Mazir reaches her finger out to touch it.
No.
I mean, you can touch it if you want.
No.
She lets go of the wing, and it kind of pulls back in this dead beetle, and the glittery gold is left on her fingertips.
What is it?
This is a kaffir bug. I think it's a kaffir. I think technically it's a beetle. Doesn't matter. The wings we can sell. What I need you to do is collect some.
I can do that.
Good.
Okay. Before we go and collect them, first of all, where are they?
There are nests kind of burrowed in, but mostly on the surface. They're pretty good about getting around in the wind.
Okay. Secondly, are there any problems with gathering them?
I mean, they're pretty vicious buggers when you get a lot of them together. I was going to have you chat with Arvid, see what he can tell you, but
Right. Vicious buggers when a lot of them are together.
And
Yeah.
this is a fully grown one?
yes, yeah,
Okay, just checking.
yep. They're. I mean, it's nothing you haven't handled before. I mean, you fought a whole forest, so a few bugs won't be a problem, will it?
Yeah, we'll be fine. We've got this.
Cool. I'll send Arvid over soon. And she-
How many do you want?
Oh, as many as you can gather, as many as you can carry. Honestly, we've got a few of these storage crates left, and since we're unloading a lot of them here for a few trees, we'll have a lot more space.
And you just want the wings?
Ideally, yes, but it's much safer if we get the entire bug, because the wings are so delicate that we want to be able to store them. So I don't. If you can get the wings and keep them safe, great, brilliant, more profit. But the bugs themselves is just as good.
Just as good.
Okay. We can do that.
Good.
Sure.
Great. We were wondering, Philo and I, Philo was saying that maybe they could provide some lessons for the group, for the owners here, about, creating more of a mouth-watering feast. And I don't know if you would feel able to.
Yeah, the slightly gleeful putting you in danger smile gives way to a kind of a self-satisfied, oh, I'm going to make a profit smile. Um,
Maybe you could negotiate on Philo's behalf. I mean,
that seems like a
obviously,
perfectly reasonable thing to be doing. Philo's got to
yes,
pay his way as well.
indeed. Although I personally feel he has more paid his way in terms of.
Oh no, absolutely. He very much has. He very much has, but I'm not going to say no to more profit.
Well, yeah, obviously, and yes. So if you wouldn't mind negotiating on behalf of Philo, and
Of course.
yes, Philo, you probably should maybe create your own contract with Matilda, because I mean, I know you're with me, but like you didn't enter in the original contract, so
No, it seems like a sensible idea if we're going to be going into this kind of business. If I'm more than just a cook, if I am a profit-generating character for you, then yes, of course, I would love to negotiate. And George pops his head up at this.
I'll leave you to it.
Aye.
A celebrity cook along.
Well, first things first, I'm going to have dinner. And she plonks down opposite George and starts like just pulling stuff in.
I'd recommend that like slightly grey stuff looks kind of weird, but
A little chewy. A bit of salt. Mmm. I have some more.
Oh, what is it? Is it Beauty and the Beast? Like the grey stuff on the cracker?
try the grey stuff. It's delicious.
Yes. Yeah, she will tuck in, satisfied, at a day's work.
So
Beauty's just going to lean forward after, once you can see that Matilda and George are sort of, presumably talking to each other and chatting and eating and stuff.
Yeah, the family are kind of doing their own family unit thing.
I think we might need a team meeting in a private area, if you get what I'm saying.
Research.
Indeed, the library.
Seems like a good place to go for a bit of quiet.
Yeah.
Shall we talk to? Is it Arvind that we're talking to? The person.
Yeah, so Arvid is the
Arvid.
one that Matilda mentioned might be able to tell you about these Kaffa.
I mean, we can talk to him first and then see if there's any information on the bugs in the library as well.
Mhm.
Might be worth it.
Fantastic.
Unless, do you think we need a meeting before we talk to him? Do we need to
No.
see him? No, it's not okay.
Let's talk, but let's just bear in mind. Purple trees, purple fruit, iron wind, gazers. We've had a bit of a run of problems. So
It seems much easier. I think we'll be fine.
We're not getting much
That's
money
some
given all the
beetles.
danger that we're going through.
well, that is
Yeah,
true.
beetles with
Also,
gold in them don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm telling you.
but it's the vicious when they're all together thing that really gets
Well,
me.
we just have to get them when they're not together.
Okay, let's go see Arvid, and then we'll have like conflab after, okay? Matilda, whereabouts is Arvid? Where might we find him?
She kind of pokes her head out into through the archway into the main sitting room kind of area, and points at one of the men who are just standing around, kind of squat, solidly built. Looks like he's lived in this place with super high winds his whole life. Short cropped blonde hair. And you can see actually all the people's clothes around here are quite baggy, but they've all got like rolls of material that you presume they strap around themselves to keep their clothes from flapping when they're out in the wind.
I thought you were about to say he like stands at like a 45-degree angle. It's like,
Very Michael Jackson.
yeah.
No, but the shoes like by the exit, they genuinely are like they have wedges on them, so you are slightly forward.
That's very good.
That's clever.
That's very cool.
Mazira is definitely very interested in this. Like these clothes are very interesting, and if at any point she can get herself some of these clothes, like she would be very interested, and she would tell Letty that Letty knows how to find things.
Of course you would tell us. I mean, well,
Especially ones with pockets in.
Ones with pockets, added bonus.
Is this a
Fenton-
commission?
Fenton, why don't you pick up the rest of that, whatever you're eating, and let's go talk to Arvid. Has everybody else eaten enough?
Mazir, you see Mazir like getting like a bowl of sweets and like tipping them into her pocket.
I'm just gonna get a big piece of liver and just like chew on it as I'm walking away. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Oh,
love it.
we'll go find Arvid, please.
I mean, he is just standing there. You catch him as he's warming his hands on the fire. You can tell he's only recently come in. His face is kind of dusted, and you can see the wind has definitely like blown a shape, and you can see like clean areas where goggles definitely were. As he kind of perks up as you approach. Ah, friends. You are working for Matilda, yes?
Yes.
Good, good. You are the ones going to collect kaffa, then?
Yes.
It is very profitable, and you seem well suited. You are not basic laborers, I can see.
Yes.
Arvid, have you caught kaffas before? Have you?
Oh, of
yeah?
course, yes, I
You're a
absolutely.
kaffa catcher.
I mean, less catching as gathering. They reproduce incredibly quickly, so quite often they almost starve themselves out of their own nests. So if you can find a dead nest, you can just pick them up.
Ooh.
It is a nice, easy way to make decent money.
Finding dead nests.
It works. Some people want the gold. I do not understand it, but it sells.
Any signs for dead nests? What to look for?
It's very hard to tell from the surface. It's all so subterranean, but you can only really get at it from the surface. The only real way is to find what you think might be a nest and poke it.
Do you know how,
This is my kind of guy.
From a distance, and make sure you have a clear exit, because if you do find a live one and you poke it, get out of there. Leave. Just do.
Why?
They do not take kindly to people. If I came to your house and I poked you in the head, would you be happy?
Are they bitey, or is it the wings that are sharp?
Yes, the wings are sharp. They do not have any kind of venom or anything, but they are. The thing that makes them most dangerous is that they have learned how to fly with the wind, so they can maneuver around you incredibly quickly. Before you can react, they are behind you and they are slashing at you. And yeah, they're scavengers more than attackers, but they will defend. You know, they'll leave you alone if you're not poking their nests.
So, slashers.
Yes.
How do they slash?
The wings, sharp wings.
So do you have the one that Matilda gave you?
Yeah, I would have had it. Definitely.
Yeah. So if you
no
pull
one else had it.
out the wing, like the bottom edge is quite sharp. It is so it is not real gold, but it is metallic. Like it is metal. It is sharp. We don't really know how, but it is.
And they
Not
can
real gold,
surround
let
you and Sorry.
I was just gonna say Letty's face like falls for a moment when she's like not real gold, and then she's like, but what is it though?
And they can surround you and swarm you
Yes.
and slash you.
Yes.
Sounds like lots of
How-
razor blades.
Yeah, he pulls like one of his shoulders, and you can see very kind of shallow scars. A lot of them. I got caught once. It was not a pleasant week recovering.
Do you have anywhere? Like, two questions. One, do you know how deep they go? 2 meters, 3 meters, 10 meters?
It depends. The largest one I've seen is somewhere in the region of 12 deep, but
Okay.
it was a root system. It spreads. That was a good day. They'd expanded, but then they had not survived. So I cleaned up a lot.
Brilliant.
That I think is actually what got us the food thing. That was a good day.
You don't need spare parts for your food thing, do you? Everyone's okay?
I mean, if you wish to trade, I will absolutely take spare parts. Yeah, it is always going to be useful to have spare parts just in case it all goes wrong.
Which brings me on to my second thing. Do you have particular clothes that protect you from the Cutty wings? Do you have face wraps, head hoods?
We have no particular things other than layers. Layers helps.
Is there anywhere around here that sells layers, clothes that you're aware?
Well, I mean, we are the only people around here. So if you want, yeah, I mean, we can definitely sell you some clothes. Absolutely.
I might be
Buy a
interested
couple
in that.
sets of clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
my
of
friend,
course.
my friend here was interested in your garb. I'd happily pay a shin or two for some clothes.
Yeah, 2 shins would get you a set for all 4 of you. So absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. If you're
yeah.
the right person to talk to.
Yeah, points at like a room a little further along. That like you angle it, you can see like it's a seamstress room. A woman, like very old woman. You presume probably the wife of the granddad, putting together like these clothes, kind of these loose-fitting things, but with the buckling straps that tighten it up.
I want them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Letty pops over and buy like I think she's probably occupied for the next couple of minutes just having a chat with this lady and buying some
Yeah,
spending 2 of her 29 shins.
what?
Yeah.
Never mind.
she kind of looks up at you, looks you up and down, takes a tape measure and does like 2 measurements, and then nods, takes your money, and starts altering.
Amazing. Letty's just gonna sit there and have a chat with her, I think. We don't need to zoom in on it.
Are the dead nests, are they all dead in the dead nest? Or do some live ones like loiter until they also die?
No, if a nest is dead, that means the queen has moved on. So they'll like if they are alive, they are very weak. They have not eaten. They have not, it's not a danger.
And there's a queen.
Yes, they are quite similar to ants in a way. They
And does the queen have any special properties?
I mean, she's edible. She doesn't taste great, but she is a good source of protein. Other than that, no.
How would I identify a queen?
Oh, much bigger. Like the
There we go.
ones I've seen are somewhere like this size, maybe. They look.
And they have the gold, sharp, slashy wings too.
No, the queen does not. It is withers away on a queen. Does not move very much, so sits there and lays eggs.
Oh, interesting. And how long does it take for an egg to go to a flyy, slashy, vicious beetle thing?
Ooh, that is a question that I can I can guess, but I have not done any husbandry of them. I have not done any research on. I from the way a nest propagates, somewhere in the region of 10 days. They do not live too long. These, as large as they are, they have fleeting lives.
And what do they usually feed on if they're scavengers?
Scavengers, so leaves, dead leaves, animals around that have died from whatever. There's a few predators around, but none dangerous to us.
And what do they make their nests out of?
They burrow. They just dig.
Burrow.
Yeah.
What noise do they make? Can you make the noise of them? Can you? Is it like? Or is it like?
There is so there is the brrr underneath and of the wings beating, but because of the metallic edges, there's this kind of sharp thing on top.
I know.
It's a very, very strange sound. It's I mean, it's unlike anything I've heard, but quite honestly, I have not left this land for very long.
I'm very interested. Okay. Well, okay. Is Matilda engrossed in her dinner?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much
You
do you
can-
generally sell? Like, I don't know, 10 wings for?
10 wings, you need about 100 to make it a shin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's jewelers mostly who buy them. It's good for
Make earrings.
for when you do not have gold to plate something, you use this.
Do you know if the gold? Okay, no, it doesn't matter. That's fine.
And is there any problem touching the goldy stuff for a long period of time? Maybe.
I mean, don't breathe in
May
the
I see your
flakes.
hand?
Yeah,
Don't breathe in the flakes.
yeah, offers his hands, and I mean they're like rough, calloused workman's hands, but you know, no kind of sheen of gold or anything. Yeah, no.
Sounds all right. You know.
Yeah.
We've had some bad luck recently with this sort of thing. Just they're just being overly cautious.
I was overhearing Matilda's story. Yes.
But it
If
is
we
what it
can
is.
handle, if we can handle what we've handled before, this sounds all right.
No, knowledge is an important thing to have when you're going into a cafe nest.
Do you
Whether it
use
is alive or dead.
nets? Do you like to use a net? Do you use a scoop? Do you use a shovel?
A shovel. We use a shovel. Yes.
And we have shovels, don't we?
Yeah. You've got
Yeah.
basic tools
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, yes, thank you for your help. Vilda said something about a library that I needed to talk to her mother. Would you?
Oh
know
yes,
where-
yes. If you go down all the way down that corridor and then to the right, there is an archway and it should be obvious from there. What particularly were you looking for in the library, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, we were planning on researching a bit about the bugs.
Oh, of course, of course.
And just a few other things. I'm interested in this area, and I'd just like to know a bit more about it.
Local legends.
You may be slightly disappointed. Our library is collected from books which have been traded to us, so it is quite often not around this place. But there's a few bits and pieces of. We've had a few Saracenians through. We've had a few biologists who've shared their notes as part of their payment. So yeah, there may be something useful.
And last thing, while I remember,
Yes.
Do you have a map of the local area, like the slant and like where this is and like where we might find nests that haven't been used before?
Yes. Come up. And he leads you down the corridor, and instead of turning right to the library, he turns left. And you find yourself standing in a kind of spherical room on a little walkway around the edge of it, and down in the bottom is a model of the slant milieu. This is not my work, but a friend of ours likes making models like this, and it is incredibly useful, especially when we know which trees to cut down. We are in this area, I'm pointing at a little area where you can see there are stumps, where he keeps it up to date about once a week. When people come and tell us which trees have been chopped down, we remove them. Yeah, it works.
Mazir is suddenly very interested. As opposed to, like, you know, Clegy has been asking all these questions, which clearly you can figure out, you know, when you're poking these things. Like, that's the time to figure this out. But now there's a map, so suddenly I'm much more interested.
Yeah, there's around the walkway. There's ways to kind of get down to the map level to have a closer look. And as you do, he says, "Be careful, be careful. It is quite delicate. Beautiful, beautiful thing, but quite delicate."
So, don't ask me why, but Cleegy's taken a tourism flex skill today.
Of course.
Is it possible, using that flex skill, that Clegy can sort of have a memory I know, like, Mazir will do some of it, obviously, but, like, have a memory of the map and, like, what structures are there? Just, I'm thinking particularly when we go to, like, research stuff.
Landmarks is what you are, because tourist.
Yes, that's it.
So yes, the major landmarks are the bit where the Black Riage starts in earnest. It's quite flat in this area, but then the Black Riage is a fairly steep, immediately steep mountain range here, which is kind of what's causing this wind to do this loop.
Yeah. And how far away is that range? How far away does that range start from where
it's quite away. It's like 50-ish miles.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry, when I say, like, large room, this is a large room. Like, we're talking, like, observatory size room.
Wow.
But yeah, the
really do a miniatures campaign in here.
Yeah, you're really good. But yeah, you can see, like, a few major areas of the forest. There's a bit they've, like, designated as, here's where you can cut down trees now. And you can see how it's moved across along the years, and the trees, like, growing slower and slower. Not slower and slower, but, you know, the trees that have been cut down are replanted. You can see that they are smaller than the rest of the forest. It looks like they're being fairly sustainable about it. It's their way of making a living, so they're not going to ruin it. But yeah, there's a few kind of marks, like point of interest flags, which, if you ask about, he'll know a few of them, but he doesn't know all of them, because basically somebody comes in and they find something interesting, they'll plant a flag and make a note of it somewhere.
Okay. And, like, where are the nests in relation to where we are?
The nests, they're everywhere, honestly. You need not even walk a mile and you could find one.
Okay, so this is amazing. Really amazing.
Well, it is our business. We've got to make it reasonable.
Yeah. Who did you say, like, keeps this up to date?
It's a friend, Walida.
Walida. Oh, are they around at the moment?
I believe she is out doing more
Scouting?
surveying. That is the word. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, marvelous. Well, if she comes back while we're around, I'd be delighted if you'd ask her to come and meet us. I'm really most impressed by her skills.
Of course, yes. If she is back and if you are back, I will introduce you.
Yeah, thank you for your
may
time.
even meet her out there.
Yeah. So we'll spend time here, and then the library's just opposite. You said yes.
Of course, yes.
And no problems with what we, books or anything in the library.
Oh no. We yes, my wife Theta is in there, and she will take care of you. Do not worry.
Marvelous. Well, thank you very much for your help.
It has been a pleasure. You are wonderful people to talk to. You'll have to tell a tale around the fire at some point, maybe in the evening if you're staying the night before you head out.
I imagine we will be.
Of course. But it is wonderful to speak to you. And he
And you.
heads back out.
When he goes to leave, Mazia's just gonna sort of she's gonna catch him, and she is so interested in this map. But she's really interested in how they like navigate around with the winds and stuff, and like if it blows up sandstorms. So like books not really her thing. So she's happy to just let sort of like Cleege, and she'll sort of nod that she's happy for them to go on, and she'll buy this guy a drink, or like it's his house, but it's his like area, but and she just basically wants to suck all knowledge. She's just like not so much of just specifically the area, but just how they navigate and everything, and like what things, because figuring out how to get places is stuff that she was really interested in, and what it's like living underground and what they do without the sun.
Yeah, let's follow this as he kind of gives you a bit of a tour. Basically, I've forgotten the word. They keep themselves alive. They exist
Survive.
on kind of sustain. That's the word. They sustain themselves on trade. There's not really much they can grow here. They've got like a mushroom farm, but they don't want to like do animal husbandry underground. There's not too much that like lives on the surface in the high winds, and what there is quite often is like squat, solid, and gristly. So yeah, they sustain themselves on trade. This is where all this wonderful food comes from, where their library has been built from, where a lot of the materials for the decorations they have is brightly coloured and kind of eclectic. He once you've got your clothes kind of tailored, he asks you to suit up and actually takes you outside.
Oh, this guy, it's great. Yeah. Mazira is so happy. Genuinely, the rest of like, if anyone's looking, they've probably never seen her like this excited about like, this is finding out new knowledge about other cultures and like traveling around and stuff. Like, she's just like, if she was Trenton, she'd be like making so many notes, but she's not, because writing. Ooh.
Yeah. Mazia is intuitive.
Why write about things when you can just poke them?
Exactly.
Why would you imprison the experience of doing stuff in a text form? No.
I have a player in my D&D campaign who refuses to use the written word, who only like the oral tradition is the only tradition there should be, so therefore does not read. Can read, doesn't. Yeah. But yeah,
Nice.
he
Decisions.
lets you borrow some shoes, he gives you some goggles, and he teaches you kind of the basics of moving solidly outside, which are mostly keep either square up to the ridge or go 90 degrees. Don't go at an angle because it will like blow you at an angle and it will all go weird. The shoes, you can use them. They're mostly used if you're going to like go wood cutting, because you are standing in one direction for a long time, and is useful if you're moving around. Not quite as useful, but yeah, he will teach you that, and I want you to make a roll to see how much of this you kind of retain for later.
Alrighty. With my dice that I definitely have,
Yes, you do.
and no dice tray, because I do
you
not
have
have
any
that.
useful skills for learning things like this, or any
Survival, I suppose.
or any
Like,
perhaps delve talents that you might have about familiarizing yourself with an area.
Oh, I think I do. Edward, yeah. I do have familiarize, so
Yes.
I can familiarize myself with an area if I spend at least an hour studying it. and I can, as long as I can move around in it and stuff. So
This is exactly what you can do, and I don't think this requires a roll thinking about it.
no, I just can.
Yeah, so you spend your time chatting with Arvid, learning about this area. Yeah, and I believe that gives you loads of assets for later.
Yeah, so it's all tasks related to perception, navigation, salvaging, defense, and moving about gain an asset.
Yeah.
Once if I'm in that area. But as for the roll, that is a 13.
Well, you didn't need to roll because you've got that skill. I only remembered the skill after I called for the roll, so...
Yeah. Good thing you remembered it, because I sure didn't.
2 weeks ago, last session, you literally said, "I've got this skill that I really need to use."
That does sound like me, doesn't it?
But yeah. Meanwhile, the camera just directly moves down into the library, where we see a small pile of books on a table in the middle.
Just before we go to the library, can we just pop back to the map?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Trenton,
Yes.
is it possible this is not just somebody's crafting, but has other properties? It seems so accurate.
Do you think somebody has shrunk the area into the room, and there's actually people living inside this map? No, not do I. I'm just kidding. But I'm just disappointed that there isn't a train set around this thing, because I think that would look really good.
Maybe you should build one.
You know, it's the only thing I've been thinking of since I came into this room. I was absolutely serious.
Okay, that's novel, and maybe a train would be useful in the area. Not actually what I was asking though. Like, can you like do your scan?
Yeah. I think it's just a model though, but sure, I will scan it and see what are we looking for. See if there's anything under it. See if it does anything. See if it's a secret passageway.
Maybe, or is it numeneric? Is it an artifact underneath? I mean, we know they've already got quite a useful artifact, which ironically we also have and have failed to use at all times. But
we used it for a little bit actually when we were. Yeah.
Yes.
What does it look like it's made of? Wood. I guess.
So like the trees are made out of wood, and the rest of it is just dirt. Like it's very well modelled dirt.
Yeah. I'll scan it and see if there's anything unusual about it. Any unusual properties?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any metals or any working machinery?
So in the model itself, no. But as you move around, the thing right at the top of the dome, you can see, after you scan it, you notice a buried Numenera device, an artifact, some kind of projector. Not on at the moment, but you can tell it kind of wired into the wall, and there is a socket on against one of the walls at kind of model level.
I turn it on.
Yeah, this is going to require a roll.
That's okay.
Yeah, so we're going to call this. You don't have the thing, so difficulty 5.
You don't have the thing. Suggests there's a thing.
I don't need
it's
things.
A socket. Sockets generally have things that plug into them.
Do.
In
Okay.
this case, Trenton's just going to use himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, absolutely.
Would you? I can charm an unintelligent machine.
This is an unintelligent machine.
I'm going to spend 4 intellect points to command machine.
Nice.
You've charmed an unintelligent machine. You can attempt to command it to take 1 action within its capabilities.
Turn
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, exactly. Turn on. Actually, no. Charm machine. A machine that likes you is 50% less likely to function if the function will cause you harm. So if it's going to explode or attack me, it's 50% less likely to do that.
Yep.
I'm also going to command machine, which is something that I can do if I've charmed an intelligent machine.
Yep.
So that's six intelligence points, and I'm going to command it to turn on.
Yeah. So you retract some of the retract isn't the right word. You pull out some of your cables and sockets and wire yourself in, kind of fashion the right shape and attach yourself and start communicating with this machine, which is a fairly simple machine that's just asking for something to project. That's all it wants. It doesn't have any kind of memory. It's just literally a projector. So yeah, what are you trying to ask it to project?
Locations of nests.
Okay. It struggles with that because it is not a.
It doesn't have any outside inputs, I guess.
Yeah, it's not an object.
Oh, I see. Words. Okay, that's interesting to know. Well, I'll ask everybody else. I'll tell everybody else what this can do. I think this thing can project other objects that it knows exist on this map. Is there anything else we want to find?
You ask it to project the last thing it projected?
You're not
Yes.
there.
Oh, I'm not there, damn it.
They're not there.
Trenton gets a thought. What would Zid ask?
I was literally about to say that Letty sort of floats in at this point, and Letty's like, that old lady, she does not talk, but it's better than therapy session, I'll tell you that.
I love that you
What are you
picked
guys
up she
doing
doesn't
here?
talk.
Well, welcome back. Trenton's just found something interesting. Something in the thing he thought was just a model.
The thing I thought was just a model is just a model. This thing is
not,
above that
obviously
thing.
not. Just what are you connected to if it is just a model?
No, the thing I'm connected to is above the model, right?
Yeah, but
That's different.
I mean,
No, that's different.
it's part of the model. No.
So is this a map of
Fine.
upstairs?
Yes, this is a map of the area, and this thing can project whatever you want that it knows, like any objects that it knows on the area. So we could find, I don't know, I guess buildings.
No.
Does it keep a record of what it was last used for, or?
I will try and access history.
It has no memory. No.
Nope.
Does it understand anything?
No, it's
Like,
fairly
it's-
unintelligent.
Okay, so all it does is switch on and project. And how does it project? Does it need an input or
Project trees.
What kind of tree are you thinking of when you project a tree?
Projects curved trees. The trees that can be forested.
Basically, because you are connected to this thing, the image you have in your mind, the whole kind of sphere has the image you had in your mind projected. And it asks, kind of, do you want to pan? Do you want to zoom? Do you want to shape?
Ooh. Track 21 by 10. What's the Blade Runner thing? I can't remember.
Enhance.
Yeah,
Enhance, thanks. Yeah.
it shrinks down the tree to the same size as one of the trees on the model and kind of places it in an area and then asks, where would you like to pan this to? Where is this tree in real life, kind of thing.
Okay, I get it. Okay. So they could use this to just to keep track of things that are moving. If forests have been chopped down, then they could just not place them in there.
Yeah, it looks like the receptacle has like a little cradle for something with a handle to sit in.
Okay. Okay. Unless either of you two have any direct use for this immediately, I can't really think of anything.
So
we can do
just
that.
to clarify, Trenton,
Mm.
so the projector projects down onto the map and then creates something onto the map. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
It's projecting something onto the map, yes, from above the map, from remotely from above the map.
But then it creates the thing on the map. So
Yes,
there,
like a projector would project onto the wall, yes.
but then it creates it.
It's just an image of it, though,
have you
isn't
ever
it?
seen a map before, Kleegi? If you draw onto the map, it doesn't make the thing itself change, unless you've got a very special map. And this is just some dirt and some trees. It's very beautiful.
Cheese? Where's the
It's-
cheese?
Trees.
Oh,
There's no
Trees.
cheese.
Trees.
oh.
Teresa.
No, trees.
You know, maybe we just go to the library and have
Yeah,
a sit down
let's
and
come
a
back to
rest
this.
or something. I think my
I
brain
think we're
is a little
losing our
tired.
minds. It's been a long few weeks.
It has.
And
Okay,
I will remind you, not everything in the world is always directly useful to you immediately now.
Yeah,
And sometimes
exactly.
it may just never be directly useful. It's just
I
an
will
interesting
detach myself
detail.
from this. I will thank the machine, actually, because I tried to chime out. I'll thank it for being very useful.
And it
It's
will
doing a great job.
will reply kind of 200 okay.
Aww.
201. Okay, back at you. And yeah, detach myself and plug my ports back in. And yeah.
Nice.
You have a
Off
nice
to the
chat
library.
with your friend there.
It was, didn't really feel like we connected that well. But it was nice enough. It was nice enough.
Is this Trenton's equivalent of a date?
It was more like, meeting a new neighbour. You're like, I'm not going to go and knock on the door and ask for sugar, but I'll say hello, ask them about the weather. It's fine.
Let's just go to the library and maybe have a little break, please. Hint, hint.
As you walk through the corridor, and you see the library ahead of you. This two-tiered building, a collection of well-made, well-kept shelves, and a quite what's the word? Eclectic collection of books, all different sizes and shapes. I think that may well be a good time for a little break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes or thereabouts.
That's good.
See you soon.
Yeah.
and welcome back. Last we left off, we were walking into the library. The kind of two-tiered room, your classic, university library. You've got the balcony around the top, books all up the walls, and tall shelves lining the place. A table in the middle of the room, which you can use to collect your books. But not the largest library you've ever seen, but a eclectic but decent collection. And standing in the middle is Vilda, this woman you spoke to before, who's like fairly tall and quite a weird cross between tall and stocky, and her mother, who is like tall and willowy and definitely did not grow up around here. Has her hair cut short though, same as everyone else who seems to go outside. And yeah, the mother, who Arvid mentioned his name was Theta, smiles at you all. Welcome to the library. What would you like to read?
Well, do you have any books on bugs?
Oh, we probably have several. Are there any particular bugs you would like to learn about?
Well, Katha bugs would be good.
Katha bugs. Yes.
Any sort of bugs related to Katha bugs would also be useful, please.
Yes, I will find the notebook of a biologist who came through here maybe 10 years ago. He had the most complete collection, I believe. Yes. And she wanders to the back of the room and comes back with a leather-bound notebook, kind of wrapped. Definitely a adventurer's notebook. Yes, he left this for us and made a copy for himself for his own library, but he left us his original book. It's very, very, very exciting. A very nice gift. Yes, and placed it on the table.
I will start looking through the book.
Absolutely. And yeah, it is an adventurer's diary. Definitely an adventurer who was very excited about the way animals react to Numenera. The way they have introduced it into their own lives. So less interested in the things that are like other dimensional creatures. He was interested in ninth world creatures that have found Numenera and done interesting things.
Oh.
Therefore, he hasn't actually written too much about the Katha bugs, other than, a little bit about their burrowing structure, a little bit about their reaction to intruders.
Useful.
Yeah, definitely useful, but not identified that they weren't like interacting really with any Numenera. They were pretty natural. Yeah, and then kind of moved on.
I'm gonna call Trenton across and go, well, not much use for Katha bugs as such, but look at all this information he's gleaned, and just like bugs and Numenera. Did we ever consider this a possibility?
Really, I mean, we don't know how people react to Numenera most of the time. So considering how bugs react to it, unless you're a bug farmer, it's probably not going to be that useful. But there are bug farmers. It's something that's worth thinking about.
No, but I'm just saying, bugs are quite simple. Maybe there's simple elements that we can apply to the rest of us. You know what I mean? I know you haven't read. You're much more academic.
I was more thinking this if there's not much about Katha bugs, but there are things about other bugs in the area, then at least it might help us eliminate, is this a Katha bug nest or is this something else? So we don't go digging around looking for things and then go, oh no, it's just ants again.
Yeah, give me a roll to kind of decipher his slightly meandering notes.
19.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It meanders, but it meanders in the way the river does. It makes sense.
Good.
And he talks about the things in the order he interacts with them, more so than kind of a useful taxonomic order. Definitely a diary. But creatures around this place, there are some ants, but again, they are mostly burrowing, and what stuff they do on the surface is like dragging stuff into a nest. They're, other than the Kappa bugs, nothing really similar. They are very kind of unique. They've got their ecological niche in this area. There are a few creatures though that few creatures that make like ecological sense, and one kind of taxonomy that really doesn't make sense. These kind of tall, thin, lithe, fox-like creatures. Somewhat fox-like. They've got quite flat faces and big eyes. Yeah, they're like when he writes about them, he thinks they're probably nocturnal, but he saw them out during the day. Yeah, strange creatures.
Does he say anything about them being hostile?
No, they were skittish mostly. They ran away, and he thinks they burrow, but he could never actually find a burrow.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Okay, so they're like fox size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the sketch has them like with longer legs than a fox, and a longer neck, but like very strange looking creatures. I mean, everything in Numenera is very strange, but
yeah. Okay. Well, I'll keep. Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything? Okay, I suppose that's helpful. Does he mention anything that's particularly hostile that's burrowing, or do we think it's mainly like the Kappa bugs that we have to watch out for?
Mainly the Kappa bugs, honestly. Yeah. Stuff around here is scavengers, because the area itself is quite hostile to anything on the surface. Like the wind is so strong that things die on the surface quite often just by getting caught by the wind wrong and being slammed into a tree or something.
Okay, well, I'll continue to read this. Amazingly, there's nothing particular I wanted out of this library. So yeah, I'll keep on reading and seeing if I can just get my survival's not great, but just get a lead on where the best place to find these things might be, or maybe actually if there are any other potentially profitable bugs or animals out there that we could collect while we're out. So those are the kind of things I'm doing. As I
sure. Yeah, we'll latch onto that later if we need it.
Okay, sounds good.
Brendan, I did have two ideas.
Mm-hmm.
The one, maybe, is there something we can design that would detect whether a nest is alive or dead? Two, I mean, it seems to me that if they outgrow their nest, so to speak, we could, and they have a 10-day life cycle, why don't we just capture, a queen or two and get them egg laying, and then somehow devise some sort of system that, the workers somehow die off and we can just collect them and keep the queens alive. I mean,
like a beehive.
Well, yes, I guess, but I mean, obviously we need them to die because we don't really want to be slashed a lot. I mean,
we just
I don't
gas
know about
them.
you. Why? This is why you are here, Trenton.
We just make them grow until they fill their nest, move a queen to another one, and then gas the loss of them, collect them. They're just bugs. No one cares.
I mean, do you think we need to look at the nest system? Is like, would we be able to transport like a whole nest or create some sort of artificial nest system in the cargo area we've got?
I think in the time that we have, no. If we lived here, absolutely, we'd be able to do that. Don't really want to live here, but yeah, I'm
guess the
surprised no
problem
one's
would be
farming them.
I guess the problem would be, what do they eat? If it's only something they eat here or get out of the trees here or something. Because I've never seen or heard of these, and I would love to grow gold. I don't know about you.
Exactly.
Seems a lot easier than running a business or whatever.
Well, maybe when we go out tomorrow, we'll have a good look around and see if we can, maybe figure something out. I'm sure we could always talk to Matilda about staying on if we think we can do it in a reasonable sort of time period. But it was just a thought. But also, I really do not want to go poking live nests. So if there's any way we can detect whether a nest is dead or alive without actually getting near it. I mean, I was thinking, you were talking about like the sounds and stuff. Is that a possibility?
Yeah,
something we can reconstruct with. I don't know.
Yeah, I can, and this is something I would have done on the way over, but for different reasons. Was something I wanted to do while we were traveling is I can now create a machine companion. And I was originally going to make it for Merrin, because Mazir and I said that we'd make something cool for Merrin, because that's what he said he wanted. And I was going to make something, basically a machine companion for him, but I haven't quite finished it yet. So what I might do is I might repurpose the work that I've got about halfway through. Merrin doesn't know I'm doing this, so he won't know if I fuck it up and be sad about it. I'm going to try and repurpose what I've done. It's all going to be back on the carts and stuff. But yeah, basically so that it can, it's basically it's currently just a box with caterpillar tracks. That's all it is at the moment. And it would follow Merrin and make cute noises and potentially translate his sign language for people that don't understand it into language, if that's what he wanted. But very easy to repurpose it with a scanner that can just a probe basically that can go down the tunnels and listen for the sounds once we know what the sounds are. Once we find some live ones, I'm sure I can detect that noise, and then we can poke the holes with the scanner and figure out if it's live or dead without us going down it.
Very nice.
Is that something I could do?
It sounds like something you could do. I was going to ask what kind of ciphers have all of you got, because we haven't really touched on ciphers for a while, thinking about it. I think the last thing we used was the mind sled.
This is possibly.
Oh no, I've got two.
How long have they been in the library?
Yeah, so the sun has kind of began to set at this point, and Arvid has suggested that now might be time to go back in, and yeah.
Yeah. As Mazir, she spent some time with putting all her new kit on, and she made a point of like getting him to show her like the best way to put it on and make sure everything was done up. She's got quite a lot of this like thick hair with beads.
Yes.
So she's like he got her like a scarf or something to make sure she could like tie it up properly and put it away.
Even so, there were several moments where like a braid would like whip you in the face with so much force. Not pleasant. But
no, and she's probably got like some red marks or something and like a small cut, but it's fine. But as part of that, she pulls out the bag and she's like, "Oh, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? Oh, maybe I should." Yeah. And when she thanks him for taking it, but when she,
of course, it is a pleasure to share the information.
When she finds her party again, she'll mention them that she does actually have a heat vision lens, which possibly might be something that we could use as part of this whole, trying to find small bugs to see if they're alive.
Definitely.
heat vision lens could be useful.
Love it. Would you be okay if I incorporate this into my design?
Yeah, I don't care.
Thank you.
Is it a D20 to get something out of my bag, though, Ed?
Yes, it is.
Don't
roll a one.
It's a 2!
Ooh.
Right, you're all right.
It's safe.
There's a
Our
scary
bag of
moment
holding
where your hand
ciphers.
gets stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you realise you've got the drawstring done up slightly too tightly.
Yeah, she's wearing a bracelet and it like catches.
Oh my god! Oh no, it's okay. Great.
Yeah, she'll hand that over happily.
Cool. Then yeah, we're not going tonight anyway. So yeah, once I finish reading that book, depending on what everyone else wants to do, that's pretty much going to be me for the night. It's going to be. I'll go back, probably spend a couple of hours back near the wagons working on this, and then get some sleep until the morning.
I'm still going to treat this like a cipher, though. So
That's fine.
Yeah, the companion will be able to use it basically.
Okay, great.
In the meantime, Cleege will have been wandering around the library, trying to see what other books there are, and what he's particularly looking for is anything that he thinks might relate to what's going on with Letty. And he doesn't really, that's the problem. He doesn't really know what he's looking for. He's just browsing to see if there's any book title that makes him go, oh, maybe, or, you know, something along those lines.
Yeah, roll me. Some kind of intellect roll. Pitch me on some skills.
Can I use tourism? Because technically, I am touring around the library looking for significant books.
Yes, but not for that reason.
Oh. I have to come up with a better reason.
No, I know the reason, but yes, you can use tourism.
Oh, okay, fine. What else can I do? Yeah, that's not really helpful.
I was gonna help, but I don't have anything that helps. Like Letty is also bumbling around the library, like she's also browsing and is completely missed that you're doing the same thing and is no help whatsoever to you.
Oh, we have more raiders.
Oh, we do. There's been 2 raids this evening. That's
Hi.
hello. We're playing
Hello.
Numenera, and we're in the library bit, I'm afraid.
Bad luck.
We're browsing.
Browsing. But we do get to use a tourism skill, which is not a thing I've used in an RPG before.
Hey, you know, different. Will understanding Numenera be any help? Stroke crafting Numenera.
Understanding, I will say yes.
Okay. So I've got those 2 then.
Yep.
Okay. And what level am I looking for?
I'm going to call this, because it is quite obscure, a level 7. So you're down to a level 5, so 15 or more.
Right. So I've got an edge of 4, so that already gives me
3 levels left if you want it.
yeah, obviously. And then if I put in another 2 levels,
2 points would get you another level of effort. So 5, 4, 3, 9 or more.
let's do it then. Right, come on. Which one's going to win? It'll be you. It's a 2. May I have some late inspiration, please?
It's what you do best.
It is what I do best. I have very few skills. And why can I not now see late inspiration? Cross. All right. So that will give me another one off. So that gives me down to 6, doesn't it?
Level 2 task, 6 or more.
You can do it.
It's a 20!
Nice.
Ooh. Well done, you.
What you find is the section where the original diary came from, where that diary that was handed to you came from, And
Yeah.
flicking through, you find images and You find a drawing. You find a drawing of Letty's eyes.
No.
The black, galaxy-like, sparse stars eyes. On one of these gangly fox creatures with the flat face.
Oh.
That's quite scary.
Next
Yeah.
to an image
Terrifying.
of the gangly fox creature with these pale blue eyes. There's two images next to each other, the same thing facing each other, one with sparkly eyes and one with blue eyes.
Okay. The other books in this section, do they give any other hints that might relate to this or anything?
With a natural 20, you find these details of the way they act. The ones with the deep, deep galaxies in the eyes are a lot less skittish, a lot more curious. They seem to focus and have an intelligence to them that the ones with the blue eyes don't. The blue-eyed ones are definitely skittish, more animalistic, less... They act more on instinct, whereas it seems the galaxy-eyed ones are thoughtful.
I don't like that at all.
Are you sharing this with Letty?
So Luigi wants to be very discreet. He doesn't really want the librarian to know what he's looking for.
Mhm.
However, if the others are looking at him at any point, he will look like he's wetting himself in excitement, quite frankly. And at one point he'll look around and try and see the rest of you in the library still, or is everybody else buggered off? Is my question.
Mizzy is
He's
probably looking at the map.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, Mizzy is probably looking at the map. Like, she's not far away, but libraries are really not an interesting thing for her.
Like he's had a
Letty?
long day. She's probably upside down, floating like along a row of bookshelves, like looking at the spines absent-mindedly.
And Trenton, I assume you're still looking at the book.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at the book, or I know what I need to do, and I'm gone. Yeah.
I'll be like, Letty.
She's sort of, I imagine, because this is like a two-tiered library. I imagine she like floats out and then just like slowly drops towards you on the ground floor. What?
Need to have words about you doing that in public so much. But anyway, look.
Hmm?
This is what your eyes look like.
It looks like that
Yeah.
all the
like
time.
this little-
Just when the
Yeah, like it looks like a little galaxy type thing, just in that eye. And
oh
and,
jeez.
Well, but what did it want? What did the Nevajin say that it wanted, or what were we meant to be doing with it?
We're supposed to be giving it a form, a physical body, a vessel of some sort. I think.
Hey, galaxy eye. Oh, blue eye. Galaxy eye. Blue eye.
Letty,
Oh.
up your sleeve, you have an oddity that you rolled pre-session 0.
Mhm.
Ooh, what was that?
Well, I'll let you look it up, because I'm also trying to find the particular image.
Carrying. What's my stuff? So my ciphers. I've got memory gel, controlled blinking nodule, a necklace of laser firing. I can't remember where I got that from. A bag of small green scales that sometimes mold themselves into a tail.
You had another one.
A pen-sized oddity that tells you things weight.
No. There's a projector, I seem to remember.
I had a projector?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think Letty gave it up.
Oh.
The one that
Oh, no, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Didn't I sell it to the Marion Oaks?
Possibly.
you might have actually. I can look through my book. I think you did something with it.
Quick, somebody watch all the streams back now.
I've got my old character sheet somewhere.
Well, you would have had this thing long enough that you would remember it. I'm just looking for the particular image so I can show it on stream. Because this projector thing that you had projected an image of a creature that you did not know.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, you did sell it to someone, I think.
Yeah. I sold it. I think I did sell it to the Marion Oaks, I think, along with I can't remember what else it was, but yeah, I sold it claiming it belonged to a duke or something.
Ooh.
Maybe it did.
Knowing Letty, it's probably did. I need to look at stream. I should probably look at stream to see the image of this thing.
Well, I haven't yet stuck it on. I'm getting there. Yeah, my stream preparations have not been quite as good as they have been in the past. And I'm trying to remember all the details. I think... There we go. Screenshot from the bestiary and everything. We got there. But this is the image of the thing in the book.
I remember this
do remember
picture.
that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I've been sitting on this for months.
Oh my god.
I forgot how weird it was.
It's a strange thing. The book
So you
describes
had
it
a
as fox-like.
projector.
So.
You had a projector that projected that.
Yeah, and that's all it did.
That's all it did.
Oh, you're
Helen, you're
Helen.
muted.
Wasn't it animal cards that you had? You remember you had that book folder of unusual animal cards?
I don't
I
remember that
definitely
one.
didn't have that. I think. No, it was our boy, beautiful dumbass who could have become your follower, who had like a book of
Beautiful
Oh,
Numenera
yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
He
cards.
had his, yeah.
Numenera the Gathering.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about dumbass. Yeah.
Oh, what was his name? He had a really good name.
He had a great name.
I've got it somewhere.
So do I. Don't know where though.
Anyway,
Yes, when you see that image, you remember that oddity that you perhaps sold to the Marion Oaks or sold to somebody at some point. But yes, that projected that particular creature. Weird coincidence.
Hate this. I've seen this before. You remember I used to have that projector?
I remember it well.
That stupid oddity at the. Hey Trenton, you came out of. Whew,
I know, I'm going on now. Yeah, I didn't say it.
Don't, I'm not here.
This is. I'm spooked. I'm a wee bit spooked. I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't spook easy, and I'm spooked right now. Don't like this. So I guess it's preordained or something. I've got to go find a monkey, I guess, and give
A
it
monkey?
my passenger. What are these guys? These fox things?
Yeah, what are they called? That's me. That's
They've got various names in the books, but the one that seems the most consistent is Quover. Quover.
Quover. That's a fun name for a horror on legs. Okay. They're local to here, did you say?
I would have read out my book, which had stuff about things. And if everybody was there, then you know the adventurers book that I was reading. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some around here. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Thank you for finding this, Cleegee.
Okay, well, I'm just obviously everybody else has just been talking at normal voice, but I'm going to take it out with a couple of other books, just to just so people don't know what we're up to.
I don't see. Okay. Well, is this is this a lending library or a library that you get to look at stuff?
I don't know. I'll find out, but let's keep this on the down low.
I think the odds against people figuring out that we're trying to find a monkey so I can put some galaxy eyes into it are low, but I do get what you're saying.
We don't want to piss Matilda off any more than she already is. All I'm saying.
We have made her so much money. She should be thanking us
doesn't
literally
mean
every
that.
day.
And I can't deal with her like angry eyes at me all the time. I can't add something else.
We figured out that her ward has psychic powers, offered to train that child. We figured out that we've got so much money for her. I'd give just because I was a prisoner.
I know, and you're not even one anymore. And look at you. Look how you have rehabilitated yourself. May I say,
Yes.
once again, very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm doing very well in my life of not crime.
You are amazing.
Steal the book. Steal the book. Steal the book. Steal the book.
Yeah, it's Cleegee stealing the book.
No,
So
So Cleegee's going to pick up a few of the other books in that section. So just a couple, and then like go to another section and pick up like some couple of random books from there, and then sort of go over to the lady whose name I've just forgotten, Theta, and go. Oh, I know it's probably not usual, but is it possible I could borrow these books for a few nights, maybe? I'm not sure how long we're staying, but certainly tonight.
As long as you don't take them out in the wind, absolutely. If they don't leave the place, by all means, read, please read. They are here to be read. It's much better if they are being read.
Wonderful. Do you need to take a note of what I've taken, or?
Oh no, I've got a good eye for this thing.
Ah, excellent. Well, there you go. And he very clearly shows her exactly what he's taken. And just sort of smiles and wanders off. He's going to go and find Matilda, actually, if that's all right.
Yeah, Matilda is... you get directed to kind of an apartment somewhere, a section which is kind of its own living room and a few bedrooms, bathroom kind of thing. And yeah, the family is kind of making themselves at home there. They're having... what we'll say Philo is doing like supper, like warm drinks kind of thing.
Ooh. I look at Philo slightly askance. It's like, Anyway, Matilda, could I have maybe a couple of moments of your time? Sorry to disturb.
Of course. Is this business or pleasure?
Business mainly. Just wondering what your sort of time scale of being here was. I don't know how long it takes you for you to do the trees and such like.
We had about a week booked in here, and I think we're, even with the diversions, I think we're still on schedule thereabouts. We might cut it fine through the Black Riage, but that yeah, about a week here thereabouts.
A week. Oh. Yeah. That is fantastic. And one other question, like how much space do you have cargo-wise in the caravan? Like if we needed like a very large object for for some reason, like how much space would you have for that?
Well, that's a very interesting question.
Thank you.
If it's business, may I ask why?
We just had a thought of something that might help, like business, but not entirely sure it's possible at the moment. It's one of our, things that we possibly can do, but we need a bit of time to work out. But it will be pointless if we don't have the space to actually put it on the cart.
Right. We're going to need a persuasion roll of some kind here.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What you do best? Talk to people.
Matilda. Right. Okay.
That is your real name.
With this pleasant social interaction, I love saying this all the time. Is this the pleasant social interaction?
Oh, yes. Just
All right,
about.
I'm specialised in that.
Yeah, I know.
Surprisingly. Do I need anything else?
I love that your most potent talent is being polite to people.
And having a nice cup of tea with them. That seems to be what I do.
Yeah, if she wasn't nursing a warm kind of milky drink, she would not be having such a pleasant a time. But
yeah, okay.
Philo is a very powerful ally.
Oh, can I use my ally then?
No, your ally makes it a pleasant social interaction.
Oh, I see. Damn it. Needed. How many levels then is this?
So going to she's difficulty 4 generally, so difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. I've got a free level of effort anyway.
Difficulty 1, 3 or more.
Yeah, come on. 7. Yay. You shouldn't be rolling anymore.
She thinks and nods and looks at the recently signed contract, and then kind of shoves George's ledger across, reads some of the numbers. Yeah, the remaining space, we've got a few cubic meters.
A little bit more specific. You know Trenton, he does like
Right, well,
accuracy with measurements.
Spread across the 3, we've got 12 of these crates that you filled them with the goo before. You know how big they are. We could rearrange to put them all in one if it's important, but I'd prefer not to do that. Yeah, it's doable. And money-wise, we don't necessarily need the space if this is going to make us...
I'd be hopeful, obviously. Otherwise, I would not give it to you.
No.
So what you're saying is the space of about 12 crates is available to us?
Available to you if you can prove it's worth it.
Of course. Excellent. So a week, maybe less than a week. And excellent. That's all. I wish you a pleasant evening. What time are you starting in the morning?
Oh, we're not up until a few hours after the sunrise. We're going and picking trees tomorrow. So it'll be nice, but we're a few hours after sunrise.
Excellent. Philo, would you be able to do the 4 of us an early breakfast?
Of course.
Marvellous. And you managed to sort out your contract, okay?
Yes, we have made a profitable contract for both of us.
Excellent. Right, I'll leave you to enjoy your evening, and please you'll scurry off and find the others.
Cool. Yeah.
We have a week, and we have 12 Ica crates worth of space.
Each crate's about a cubic meter.
Great. To do what with? Is this about the nest?
Yes.
I don't know. We haven't got the best track record with trying to introduce organisms into other places.
Also, if we start developing our own nesting, you'll take away a lot of profit from these people, and they're very nice. And like, Mazir has joined you in the library, but she's sitting there with someone else's cloak, and she's stitching pockets into it.
Nice.
So the guy who took her out, it was so nice of him, and so she like watched him like hang his like cloak up, and she's taken it down, and she's sitting there and she's sewing useful pockets in to like all the places where she would like pockets. So she's put like a little strap on so that he can take his goggles off and like make sure that so you can attach them on without having to like completely detach them so they're removable, and just useful pockets for things. And she hasn't told him she's doing it. She's just taken his cloak and is just sitting there just like stitching them on, and we'll hang it back up like before the morning.
We may not get a moment to do this later, so he will be very appreciative of this. Grandmother won't be so appreciative because she is the seamstress around here and she makes all of the clothes, and she is not happy that someone has altered her clothes. But you paid her for clothes, so yeah.
And pockets.
And pockets.
I was also going to say I wanted to spend some extra money and get a set for the whole family because I want Merrin to have a set of these nice clothes as well.
Yeah, so what? It's a shin for 2, and there's 2, 4, 6 or so of them. Yeah, 7 of you gonna count Philo, I think, and Philo and Nimchek.
Would Philo be able to get in and out of them easily? Like, what is?
Grandmother could make one.
So is that? Oh yeah. So is that like another 3 shins?
4 shins.
4 shins. 4 shins. Cool. I'll take that off.
Now
my
the thing is,
absurd total.
the thing is, I don't think clergy would technically need what they offer, because remember he has that special hoodie that provides him, like, that's like slightly hovercrafty that sort of hovers above his.
Yeah, you might be all right.
Yeah, I'll spend 3 shins.
Hellas.
Yeah.
Hellas might need something for the kilt, otherwise
Oof.
there'll be more butts showing than possibly people want. But what he will need are the wedges for the boots.
Only if you're going to be standing still for a long time. If you're moving around, you just want like spikes.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll need spikes.
Do we all get crampons then?
Yeah. Like there are like communal crampons that you just strap onto your boots. Same with the goggles; they're all communal. Well, there's a few people who have their own, but
Cool.
So
Yeah.
you have retired to an area. Vilda showed you another kind of apartment area for you 4, Nimchek, and Philo. So yeah, the family have got their own, and you lot have got your own. Rhodes, by the way, is staying with the Caliptor, kind of near the entrance, camping out.
Well, I will knuckle down for an evening of an evening not like an all-nighter of fixing a probe on my automaton.
Yeah.
Once Mazir has finished stitching her pockets, it doesn't take her too long. She'll assist Trenton just by like shining lights in like the right places. And
no, because I think you wanted to help make something for
so I probably would have been helping you with the thing for Merrin.
Totally. So you'll know this machine quite well as well. So yeah, if you were interested, because it's your heat device as well. So yeah, if you can help, that'd be really, really good.
Yeah.
So, as you kind of bed down for the night, doing your evening's work, Philo preparing a supper for you and pre-preparing breakfast so he doesn't need to think about it when he wakes up. And you all get ready for an early start. I think that is the point where we're going to leave it. We're going to pick up next week.
Yay!
No cliffhanger. Hurrah!
No cliffhanger. I mean, yeah, you didn't get to like a contentious point. It was very much a here's a cool area, learn about the people. Yeah, a nice change of pace from some of the previous slightly hectic ones.
Definitely.
Yeah, we haven't had to talk to a god. We haven't had to try to persuade a god to let
No one
weird
touched
entity
anything
that we
and
made
died.
a deal with.
I mean, you touched something.
Yeah, I didn't
Definitely.
die.
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
die,
you
but
didn't
you
kill your
touched
body.
stuff.
That's fine.
I didn't have to possess your body to get you back into the Matrix.
We didn't cause any small ecological disasters.
No one turned into a tree.
Yeah.
A very successful session.
You found out some secrets, some like connections that you didn't know before. Yeah.
Nice.
Now I have to remember how to do the ending spiel, because if you enjoyed our particular brand of chaos, come and join us on the Discord. We've got loads of games starting to be pitched now. I think I just saw a mage game get pitched. There's various things going up all the time, and all the great conversation that we always have that I, for some reason, I'm terrible at selling, but it worked at one point, so sure. Thursday, Helen.
Excelsior Rising, hopefully.
Indeed.
Yes. The magic has been unleashed. Well, at least for some, it seems, but not all.
Friday we've got Benefactor, as usual. Ongoing 5e campaign. A lot of fun. What else have we got? I feel like I'm missing something. No, I know what I'm missing. I'm missing an interruption.
The other thing about all this is that if you have just caught up with us for the first time, you can catch everything that we have done on YouTube with all the VODs on our YouTube channel, where you can catch up with Excelsior or watch this show from the very beginning if you want to, and all sorts of things. The Lancer games are on there. There's loads of previous campaigns that have finished and wrapped up that you can catch up with.
Oh, also, next weekend, not the weekend coming, but the weekend after is Gen Con. And I'm going to be running some Numenera. I think perhaps all my games are sold out. But if you want to come and play Numenera, there's Gen Con going on. It's online. You don't actually have to be in Indianapolis. I'm not going to Indianapolis.
So is that something that you just go to the Gen Con website? Or
you just like Google Gen Con online, and it's fairly straightforward from there. So
Cool.
Free kind of ticket, and then book yourself in for some role-playing games.
Nice.
No, you please.
Oh, I was going to say, or there is, what is it? I forgot what it's called. Meeting people outside in real life using D&D character sheet. No idea how it works. Sounds fascinating.
What?
Really?
What?
Oh,
D&D LARPing.
No. You guys don't read any of the Discord stuff. I'm just saying.
No.
Because
I've been busy. It's been a time.
I mute every single Discord chat that I'm in, like a sensible person.
Check the Discord for that. But also, if you want to play Numenera, there's a bundle of holding thing going on, and they're selling all like a metric shit ton of Numenera books for like $30.
That's
so,
an official
30
weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
£34 for what is it, like 17?
$35 for, I think we counted somewhere like 14 books.
Yeah, it's
including
wild.
the main two.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
The core book, a bunch of adventures, and you can scale that price if you only want the core stuff as well, I think.
Yeah. That, I think, is everything we need to do. Twitch is going
gonna
to
say-
complain about the
D&D
link.
thing is.
Yeah. Oh, I've just realised. It's called
Discord.
Leveling Up in Real Life, your character guide for forging adult relationships off the D&D table.
Oh, that thing, yes.
Yes. Sunday, the 20th, I think it is, 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's for an hour.
all
Who
the
knows?
links in the Discord. we're gonna actually
Get it.
bugger off. We need to go.
Yeah.
No. Forever.
I'm going to press the button in halfway through a sentence.
See you next week. Bye.
Thank you.